Hi guys, follow me on Instagram to never ever miss any of my crazy updates. Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. I am driving this, the Audi R8 LMX. Yes, it's a very special car indeed, and this special car comes courtesy of CL5 Automotives to me. So make sure to click on the pinned comment and like them and follow them on Instagram. So because this is obviously a rear mid-engine car, at the front we've got storage space where the car cover has been kept. It's decent enough for a weekend bag and a 12-volt charging socket along with a light as well. This is where the washer fluid actually goes, and there's no insulation here. It doesn't need any insulation here anyways. So as you can see, the design of this R8 still looks mind-boggling considering the second generation model came long back. So what is the LMX? Well, from Le Mans, they actually took the lights, and these are laser lights on this car. Yeah, that's right. It uses laser lights. Laser light, Audi. Beautiful lights, look nice and obviously give great throw at night as well, but there are no headlamp washers. Front parking sensors, there is no front camera. I don't think this is closed. Now it has closed. So yeah, it is closed, so it's kind of closing from one side. Any which ways, as you can see, the design of the car is really very sexy. I love the choice of wheels on this vehicle. So it runs on Pirelli P0 tires, and the tire size happens to be a 235/35/19 at the front. The size of the brake disc is so massive, it's so massive, that's what she said. It uses Audi ceramic brakes and looks so freaking stunning. You can see that it went here. Well, that is to draw air to the engine, because rear engine cars obviously need to breathe better. Says V10 right there. From the side, looks really very purposeful. I love the color scheme. I love the fact you have sort of a carbon fiber finish there behind the door, and of course I love the wheels and the graphics, which are also matching the wheels of this vehicle. The rear tire size happens to be bigger at 305/30/19. Again, you get these beautiful red colored brake calipers. LMX written here. This is 52 of 99. Only 99 units of the LMX were made, so this is like the last hurrah of the Audi R8, the first generation model, before the second generation came. We all know VW Group does that. That's the reason we have the Aventador S, so that they could clear stock of the Aventador. Then we had the Aventador SVJ, which kind of clears the stock of the current Aventador. From the rear, really very purposeful. You get twin massive exhaust, Audi logo, a nice carbon fiber finished spoiler, which also looks really nice on this vehicle. R8 written right there. There are a lot of vents for cooling. Super duper awesome. Because it's an Audi, obviously it gets dynamic swipe indicators which swipe from inside to the outside. So here is a reverse parking camera, Audi logo here, and the finishing is so freaking awesome. Let's open the engine bay, and it is super hot. Yeah, the motor is actually emitting a lot of heat right now. Says V10 FSI. Beautiful. This engine is so freaking sexy in terms of appearance. It's absolutely mind-boggling the way it appears. I love just staring at it, even with this close. Through the glass, you can actually see the engine. Yes, that is some real attention to detail. Now, this is obviously for breathing, and overall design of the car is so freaking timeless. I can't believe this, that an R8, even in this year, looks so fresh and attractive. Anyways, you see the indicators on the mirror as well, and they also work nicely. Meanwhile, at the front, we're talking about the lights. Yeah, this is how they blink. So they don't have the dynamic swipe indicators at the front. Says Quattro, which will save your life multiple times. And yeah, you have these beautiful door handles, which also have the carbon fiber sort of finishing. On the interior trim too, you have the carbon fiber sort of finishing. R8 LMX 52 of 99 is written there. Meanwhile, the whole treatment, the quality, Bang & Olufsen audio system, very nice. Okay, power window controls for the outside rear view mirror, door handle, lock and unlock the vehicle. Now there are two buttons here. One is to open the hood, one is to open the fuel lid. How do you actually open the engine bay at the rear? There's a button here. Yeah, that is right. There is a button here. See this finishing bluish sort of thing? That's also nice. Now the disappointing part is the fact that there is no passive entry. There's no push button start. There's no electric adjust for the seats either. You have to manually adjust the seats, and there you obviously get a lot of space, dead pedal, and the pedals are absolutely cool because they're finished in sort of the chrome treatment. Meanwhile, automatic headlights, headlight leveler, and this is where the key actually goes. Seats are very comfortable, no adjustable headrest, but really very nicely bolstered and super comfortable. Like they hug you when you try to corner hard. Let's get inside. For starters, the interior might look a bit old. You know why? Because it is an old interior. Anyways, the glove box is very small because of Audi's big fat manual. Yeah, the manual actually occupies everything. Yeah, that is the size of a manual. Why would you have such a big manual? Well, because there are a lot of things in this car which you need to take care of, says the Germans. Got it written here, so the person who's sitting next to you doesn't freak out when you hit a corner very fast or turn off ESP. Auto dimming inside rear view mirror, there are light placements here, and the sun blind obviously gets a mirror. Same is the case here as well, you get a mirror, but there is no light. That is fine. So everything is tilted towards the driver. Okay, the center console too, quality fit finish, really very awesome indeed. And right now what we'll do is we'll turn on the vehicle. So the audio, it turns on its own. Right now it says Audi multimedia interface MMI R8 there. So the steering wheel is nice to hold, it gets a flat bottom. These are the controls for the audio system, this is for the volume, and this is for voice commands. Meanwhile, if you want to browse through that, yeah, you press this button. It doesn't give a lot of information, and that multi-information display is small as well, but here on the wiper button is how you actually operate it. Let's use the wipers. Wipers work really well, dual blade wipers obviously. Paddles are also really very nice. I love the steering wheel, it feels really nice to hold. Cruise control button, this is the control for the indicators of the vehicle. Meanwhile, I love the cluster. So you have one binocle here which encompasses the battery voltage as well as the speedometer and a digital display here. Meanwhile, the other one obviously has a tachometer along with the engine temperature, along with the clock and date as well. And on the top we have the oil temperature along with the fuel meter. So yeah, you have a lot of information there. These are actually the controls for the air conditioning of the vehicle, and these are the controls for the audio system. So what we're going to do is we're going to listen to an audio right away. So it says there is no medium in the drive, because you know what, it obviously gets the option of twin SD cards, so you can put SD cards there, and there's a CD player as well. Disappointingly though, there is no Bluetooth connectivity in this vehicle, neither is there Apple CarPlay or Android Auto or any of that either. So we're going to get into radio and let's play an audio right away. Audio quality is really phenomenal. The way the insulation is there of this vehicle, terrific. The way the sound quality from the Bang & Olufsen audio system is amazing indeed. Okay, you get a manual handbrake, which is actually a nice thing if you want to drift the vehicle, but you know, it's four-wheel drive, so that's a little difficult. ESP, you can turn it off. Parking sensor button, this is the hazard light button, and this is the gear lever, which is R8 on top. Get into drive and all. It's really very cool the way it is done. There's a sport button here as well. Storage space here as well. There is an ashtray, and there's a storage compartment right there too. Meanwhile, there's a 12-volt charging socket, and over here also there is space to keep stuff, so you can actually, you know, connect your mobile phone and all. Meanwhile, there's storage space behind, like right behind the seats as well, so you can keep stuff right there too. And obviously there is a nice glass area so that you can see what's behind as well. And what you see is the rear spoiler, which is again extremely cool the way it is done. So everything feels nice and oriented towards the driver. Let's turn on the vehicle. There, it rose to life, absolutely rose to life, and steering feels really heavy at parking speeds, but the whole experience of this R8 is amazing. Great finishing everywhere, quality levels super duper awesome. Let's rev the motor. It loves to be revved. In fact, it loves to be revved so much that let's get driving actually. Alright, we're all set to go, which means turning off the air conditioning completely, getting into drive mode, getting into sport mode as well, and yeah, we are all set to go. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, revving the motor, and off we go. Absolutely mind-numbing a motor. What an engine, the performance is so freaking immediate. It absolutely loves to rev and pull so hard and fast. This engine is an absolute mind-boggling gem of a motor. I mean, okay, around the corners, the R8 doesn't disappoint. It's so freaking quick with its shifts. It really loves to shift, and it shifts so fast. Look at the speed through the corner, the composure. OMG, it's absolutely mind-boggling. The quattro traction is just out of the world. Super composed, super agile, and super responsive, with the steering offering great feel and feedback as well. What a freaking handling car. Get onto the gas, there's so much thrust on offer. It pulls in no time at all. Whoa, what a beauty. But it's just not when you're punching hard the R8 that it excites you. Even when driven normally, you know, like you're driving very calmly, and all of a sudden you decide that you feel the need for speed. Get onto the gas, downshift is so immediate. The way the motor responds, the way the gearbox responds is stunning beyond imagination. It is so freaking responsive, and OMG, the way it reaches 8,000 RPM. In fact, it redlines close to 8,500 RPM. What a mind-boggling engine. Audi has really nailed it, and that's the reason why everyone loves Lambo. Naturally aspirated for the win. This 5.2 liter motor is a V10, no turbos here. It's pure symphony. It's pure naturally aspirated symphony. In fact, the downshifts are super duper aggressive, and this one produces 570 horsepower. Meanwhile, the torque output is 550 Newton meters. The real difference between the LMX and the other Audi R8s, I'm talking about the first generation model, is the fact that it gets slightly more power, and actually the power increase is so minuscule. You really don't realize it because this is already a very, very, very fast car indeed, and braking performance is super duper sure-footed. I mean, it really stops, and look at the downshifts. The way the gearbox shifts is nothing sort of magical. It's so fast with shifts, it leaves you spellbound. And even downshifts, it does it in a flash. This gearbox deserves an award. Trust me, it deserves an award because it is so freaking responsive. It's unbelievable how quick the revs climb. It has good amount of punch lower down, but it's really, once it hits the mid-range, it flies, and the top end is really very satisfying indeed. I mean, this car has a brilliant top end. The way it revs, the sound from the motor, the naturally aspirated madness, all of it is a sensation beyond imagination. Okay, here, you want to do manual downshifts? No problem. You can do it using the steering mounted paddles as well, and along with the gear lever too, because you can go through the Triptronic function. Really, the thrust from the motor is so satisfying. It is so freaking brilliant, this car. It is beyond words how stable it is, how responsive it is, and how much feel and feedback the steering actually offers. Okay, the steering is actually heavy, but it is so feelsome, it's so responsive, and it is super quick as well. So Audi has really, made a car which is fab, and that is one of the reasons why the R8 is so popular indeed. It's mainly not only just because it's fast. Obviously, it is a given, it's a supercar, it has to be fast, but it is so easy to drive as well, because not only is it sure-footed, that is obviously expected from an Audi, it just feels so freaking composed, dead straight. But then there's a compromise you have to make, and the compromise comes with the ride quality. It is so freaking uncomfortable, and it keeps moving around all over on bad roads, but as soon as you hit 8,500 RPM, not only do you forget everything, you forgive everything as well. So here, brakes are super strong, very sure-footed brakes as well. Actually, it's really the Quattro system which lends this car the madness it possesses, because it makes everything so freaking safe. Alright, we've hit the wipers by mistake. Let me turn them off. Yeah, it's the Quattro system which makes everything so safe and so sure-footed as well. Putting all that power down is no problem. You don't have to think twice. All you have to do is, well, get on the gas, and the revs keep climbing and climbing and climbing and climbing, and before you know it, not only are you at the end of the road, but you have also exhausted all the fuel in the vehicle. You can't keep up with the shifts. Manually shifting gears, stupid idea, because the gearbox is so fab that you look like an absolute lunatic trying to do its job. It does its job so well, it deserves a race. The car is fab, it's an absolute sensation. I love the Audi R8. I can't believe it, I'm saying this, but I'm not a big fan of Audi cars, but this R8, well, obviously the Audi badge doesn't have the same badge snobbery as a Lambo or a Ferrari, but in terms of affordable sports car, affordable supercar, an absolute madness in terms of thrust, sound, and precision. The steering is so precise, it's unbelievable. I'm saying that in an Audi, because we all know Audi steerings are a bit vague. This one is not. This is proper supercar, and what an exciting beast. In fact, like, you don't really have to binge it from get-go. Even in-gear acceleration is mind-boggling, but here I'm going to take the liberty of downshifting. Every time you downshift, there is someone sitting in the engine, which is at the rear, along with the exhaust, and it's like, bam, brum, 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 brum. Okay, here we go. There. there and there. Yeah, baby. So guys, this is my vlog of the Audi R8 V10 LMX, and what a fab car. Now the good thing is you can get a great deal on a used Audi R8 because they go for a very value for money pricing. Anyways, it's time to end. If you like this video, you know what you have to do. Give it a thumbs up. That's a like button. I'm also confused because of the madness of this Audi R8. Fuel economy, by the way, is between 2 to 4 kilometers per liter. Bye bye.